So one of the things that I love about living in a larger city is that there are multiples of everything. If you are from a small town, then you probably get why I'm so excited. So I'm heading to two separate Walmarts today to check out their summer collection, their summer newness, and I'm going to take y'all along with me. So let's go see what we can see. The first look is this Celebrity Pink set. I think Celebrity Pink is a juniors line, so I'm not sure, just FYI. I am wearing, let's see, XXXL in the top and an XL in the skirt. The top, I kind of went I sized up a few sizes from what I normally would, just because I could tell, like, you know, it's a crop top, it's got the empire waist. I wanted to have enough coverage for the bust area. And so usually in that style top, I will try to size up just to make sure I feel comfortable, you know, all that good stuff. So the top, love the top. I love the color. I love the way it fits. Didn't really have a whole lot of complaints about the top. The skirt, on the other hand, as you can see, it had like this weird like stitching right across like the top of my thighs. I've seen that on other skirts, like a tiered skirt. I don't know, like it was just very tight around my thighs when I felt like it should have been looser. And then the skirt itself seemed like it was meant to be more of like a flared, like, you know, like an A-line cut. And so, yeah, the stitching, I was not a fan of that, obviously. It just kind of was, yeah, a little weird and unflattering. All right, so next one was this free assembly top. It was the perfect shade of red. I tried it on in an XL, and bonus, it is only $8. So loved that. Very, very budget friendly. They have this top in a bunch of different colors. So if you need some good solid tops to go with your shorts and your skirts and jeans this summer, definitely check out the free assembly line. Can't say enough good things about it. The shorts. So the shorts I tried on in a 16, and I believe that I would have had just a little bit more room in a 16 women's. They were only $22, so I loved the price point. They do have a tiny bit of stretch to them, but not much. Really well around the thighs, around the booty. In fact, they were really, really flattering for the booty. So if you're looking for some longer shorts that kind of, you know, are flattering and comfortable, I would say these are a great option. I was not a fan of the attached belt. It was just kind of like a thin, like strip of denim, and it was tied on a bow on the hanger, and it looked really nice, but I can never, when I have to retie the bows, I can never like get them to look the way that I want them to look. So I think if I was going to take these shorts home with me, I probably would just scrap the belt and wear with my normal leather belts that I have at home. So this dress I really, really wanted to love. I love the color. I love the bold pattern. I am a huge fan of patterns, as you probably know. It is from the Time and True line, I believe. I tried it on in an XL. I probably would have done better. I don't know if Time and True does 1X. I believe the next size up is an XXL, and I probably would have done better with a size up. The rest of the dress fit fine. As you can see, just around the bust area, it was very, very, it just felt like it just did not have enough fabric. It wasn't tight, but I guess because I have a larger bust, it just was not super, super flattering. And it kind of caused the rest of the dress to like ride up a little bit and bunch up when I moved, and just kind of, yeah, wasn't the biggest fan of that. I will say it was very lightweight without feeling like, you know, uncomfortably thin. So it's a great summer dress if you have a smaller bust. But yeah, this one did not quite work out for me. This dress is from Sofia Vergara's line. It is an XL and it's only $30, which I was really impressed with. It is a really good like wedding guest dress, or like if you have like a summer cocktail party to go to. And I think it's really easy to dress down with like a pair of flat sandals, or if you wanted to wear with like a fancy pair of heels, I feel like it could work with that as well. They did have it in this colorway, the blue, white, and black, or was it blue and black? And then they also had it in a pink and green. It's not bra friendly, but you know, just get like a little strapless bra. It was very, very lightweight. And then you'll see me like moving a little bit in the video. I love the way it just kind of like moves with you. It just kind of swishes around as you're doing your thing. So very dramatic, very sophisticated. I loved that it had pockets, of course. When I tried it on, it looked like it was cut a little bit differently, like to cinch in a little bit, but it's not. It's like literally a straight up and down. So I think that would be the only thing I would not have minded in like an elastic waist that kind of fitted in right around my natural waist. So this is another one from the Time and True line. I'm wearing a 1X here, and this one was only, let's see, yeah, this one was only $27.89. So that's a pretty good deal. Really great length for the short girlies. It is a full-on maxi, but it's not long enough to where you feel like you're going to be tripping over your hem all day. The pattern itself, I really, really liked. I just wish that it had been a little like lighter and brighter. The colors are very like dark toned. Live somewhere where you have kind of like a hot fall. I feel like this dress would work a little bit better for that. I did love the way that it fit. It does cinch in around the waist. It did not have pockets, unfortunately, but I did love the tie front. I think I wore mine in the video untied. That's usually just kind of like my go-to with the larger bust, but it's very versatile. You can wear it untied like I did, or you can just tie it and it gives you just kind of a cute little keyhole. So it's a cute dress. All right, so just hear me out because this outfit, I realize it's a little wonky. Let's talk about the skirt. I absolutely loved the skirt. I was not in the budget during this filming to add anything to my wardrobe, but when I may end up going back for that skirt if it is still available. It is super, super cute. It is a high waist. It is not quite a pencil skirt. I feel like it is an updated version of a pencil skirt. Midi length. It's got a sexy thigh slit, linen blend, but it's not itchy. It's lined. It's just a beautiful skirt. What I loved most about the skirt was how flattering it was on the tummy. It just skimmed over me in such a beautiful way. And this skirt was literally only like $19. And then for size reference, I am wearing the XXL. Ideally, I would style this with like a really kind of like slinky tank top with like a little bit of cleavage and a complementary color. I actually forgot to grab any tops besides this white eyelet top. I just really wanted to show the actual shape of the skirt, and so I tucked the shirt in, and I realized it looks a little bit crazy, but hopefully you can appreciate the beauty of the skirt and like just ignore it styled with that, because we all know we wouldn't style it like that. So this top was, oh my God, a blast from the past, let me tell you. When I was in middle school, my mom used to buy us Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, like a straight leg jean. And so I didn't really appreciate them then because that was when I was into like the baggy jeans. I am not a button down girl, but I had to try this top on for you all. I thought it was super, super cute. It kind of reminded me of Charlotte York in the original Sex and the City, like a really pretty feminine color, a crisp preppy button down. This is, if that's your style, this is most definitely a wardrobe staple if you don't already have one. It was slightly oversized, not like hugely, but it wasn't a fit. It wasn't exactly a fitted button down either. And it was very lightweight. I styled it here with these Lee brand cargo shorts. Now these shorts, I love the color. And I also love that they had like this really, it was an elastic waist, but it was like a soft elastic waist. So it was really, really comfortable. Kind of gave the feeling that you were wearing like lounge shorts, but obviously they are like real shorts that you can wear outside the house. I'm wearing an 18. These were only $21.98, so 22, we can round up. Didn't necessarily love the fit, and I will check online and see if they're available in an 18 women's, because if they are, I think I could have done better with that. I would have sized up, but the 18 was the largest size that they carried in store, unfortunately. And yeah, they were just very, very tight on the thighs, very, very short, but they're like a 4-inch inseam. So that kind of just, that just depends on like personal preference. All right, so next up is this tomato red mini dress from the Free Assembly line. I'm wearing an XL, and this was the only one that was over 30. It's only 34, so I figured $4 extra, we might still want to take a look. I love the eyelet detail, love the color. I'm a huge fan of that quite not quite red, not quite orange, tomato red, basically. It looked like a fit and flare on the hanger, but then once you actually put it on, it's not actually cut like that. And so the top half was really, really pretty, but the bottom half was just kind of straight down, where I felt like I would have preferred a more A-line. You have if you're curvier on the bottom, if you're more pear-shaped or even like hourglass, I think definitely just kind of proceed with caution. This is definitely one that you want to try on first before making your final decision. I did like that it was 100% cotton and that it was lined for extra coverage. This dress was probably my favorite dress out of the entire video. I tried on a bunch of patterns for this video and I started to get a little bit of pattern fatigue, which I know, crazy. But this dress was a beautiful, solid, coral watermelon punchy pink, which I loved. I am wearing an XXL here. This dress is only $20 and it was lined. I loved how lightweight and soft it was. It was super flattering. The material was really cool against my skin. It's just a beautiful, beautifully cut dress for only $20. Can't beat that. This dress was another one from Scoop. It was only $30 and I am wearing the XL here. Surprisingly, I feel like this one ran a little large. It was a little loose in the straps, and then you can see like the whole bodice part, the entire bodice part is like, I don't know what you would call that, like ruching or like ruched detail, something like that. But it just was a lot of extra. It was a lot of extra fabric. And so I feel like I could have sized down to just be a little bit more comfortable. I loved the pattern. It just is very floral, quintessential summer, garden society, just very, very pretty. It did have pockets, which I also loved. I think the only tiny little caveat was the fact that it is not bra strap friendly. And then in general, I'm not a huge fan of spaghetti straps. I feel like a thicker strap, or even if they had still done the spaghetti straps, but they had done the little bows, like where you tie it, or even if it just looks like you tie it, it's not like a functional bow. I think something like that would have elevated it a little bit. But overall, I thought this was a really, really cute dress. Love the color. But definitely, I would recommend sizing down if you are a shorter torso. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you thought of these looks. Which ones were your favorite? Which ones do you feel like you absolutely have to have? Let's chat in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.